Let's check in now with our Rob Parker. He's reporting from spring training.
Good to see you out there in Florida, ROB.
Thanks, guys. We're here with Justin Verlander, of course. And Justin, how's spring training going? So far, so good for you.
Yeah, it's going great. Feeling healthy. Really liking the team, liking the new guys we got here. So I couldn't ask for things to be going any better.
Speaking of that, the thing that's surprising is you guys did make a big splash in spring off-season with the acquisitions you made, but there's still some skepticism on a national level. You know, people aren't really embracing that this team is set to win. What do you make of that?
Well, you know, first things first, you make nothing of it. You can't worry about what naysayers are going to say. You know, they also predicted Kansas City to finish dead last in our division last year and be horrible, and look where that happened. So look where they end up. So you can't pay attention to that. This game's played between the lines, and I think people often forget that. But, you know, baseball's around the corner, and people want to talk about baseball. There's really not too much to talk about during spring training except for, you know, the hopes and aspirations of each team. So you got to make guesses. But I think what a lot of people aren't taking into account is how big of an impact injuries had on our season last year, and, you know, made guys underperform that I think are still in the prime of their careers and are going to return to form. So if that happens, which I think it is, I think you watch these spring training games and it's hard to not see these things happen. So I think we got a good chance to win.
When people look at the pitching staff, just say, obviously lost Price, a couple years ago was Max, we get all that, but you're back, you're healthy, right, yeah. Pitching well. But then you look at the rest of the rotation, Jordan Zimmerman, Anibal. I mean, when you look at this, if everybody's healthy and pitching right, do you have enough, I guess is the question.
I think absolutely. I think the biggest thing you mentioned is health. We had a harsh lesson in reality of that last year. You need to be healthy. You know, in all honesty, you're not going to go a whole year and everybody be healthy. That's not going to happen. But I think what we did last year, the moves that we made when we decided to trade away David Price and Yoenis Cespedes, put us in a better position to be able to fill voids this year. Last year, I think we were asking guys to step into roles that they weren't really ready for, as opposed to now, you allow those guys to mature a little bit more. And now if we need somebody to fill in, they're in a role that's more conducive for them to have success. So I like the rotation that we have. You know, obviously, I think a big key in this is Anibal being healthy. You know, this guy's a few years away from an ERA title in the American League. So it's there. He just needs to be healthy. And so I think he's starting to feel good now. So that's exciting. And obviously Zimmerman and Pelfrey, big league track records. They're going to go out and pitch well for us.
Let's check out the scoreboard. It's what you need to know. The Washington Wizards took a 20-point lead in the first half, and Detroit never made it close. Now it's time for Clubhouse Confidential, your inside scoop on what's going on in sports. K-Rod showed up to Tigers spring training at Lakeland with his ring finger on his pitching hand swollen, but my baseball peeps tell me that he got treatment on it, the swelling went down, and that he's scheduled to pitch on Tuesday. Remember Josh Jackson, who played his freshman and sophomore year at Consortium College Prep School in Detroit? Well, my CWPFs, you know, close, warm, personal friends, they tell me that the 5-star recruit is heading to Arizona. My basketball peeps are telling me that Oakland U will play in the Las Vegas 16. It's now called the Las Vegas 8, as there are only 8 teams in this postseason tournament. There was talk that this thing might not get off the ground at all, but all indications now is that it's set to go. 8 teams, and Oakland is in it.
Take out the papers in the trash.
So if you want to trash anyone in sports, hit us up on our Twitter. That's at TrashTalking20.
The Josh Jackson thing is a big deal because he has been the #1 kid coming out of this state for a long, long time, and he had Arizona, I think Michigan State, and one other school on there, and so
we're sad.
If it's true, he's going to West. Yeah. And my CFWPs, is that what you said? CWFPs?
CWFPs.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see.